Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Burton. I want to take some time to talk to you about clutter today. Most of us as physicians have clutter everywhere. Our desk at work, our desk at home, our schedules are cluttered. We just don't have the space and time we need to get things done to be efficient. Whether it's journals piling up in the corner, whether it's our out of control inbox, there's a lot of things that clutter up our space and time. Because of that, our efficiency is not what it should be. Our productivity drops. We spend a lot of time handling things over and over again that we probably could have just handled once. There's a lot of things we could talk about for decluttering, but I want to give you 3 quick tips that you can do today to declutter your life right now. The first one I want to recommend is getting rid of the emails. How many emails do you get on a daily basis? Just off the top, is it 20, 30, 50, 100? Out of those, how many of those are just promotional or marketing emails from some store that got your email address years ago? Uh, for me, I find them rather annoying because they may have gotten it for a legitimate purpose at some point, but they continue to send me hot deals every day or every other day, sometimes multiple times a day. I'll get emails from the same store or same promotion. Well, the best thing you can do is just instead of deleting them all the time, is just hit unsubscribe. That unsubscribe button can be your friend. It keeps those things from piling up. Because even if you just delete them, you spend hours of your life hitting delete over and over again every day. For me, I got to admit, I do have the typical junk email folder or junk email account, but I got to the point where there's been actually I can think of 2 different email accounts right off the top of my head that I just haven't even looked at in years because they got so cluttered that they weren't even useful anymore. And I found it easier to create a new email account than I did to delete or unsubscribe all those junk emails. Now, if you're not ready to go that drastic, probably could just resort to unsubscribing for most of those, and I found that to be very effective. The second thing is I want to know is how many social media apps do you have on your phone right now? Is it the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the LinkedIn? How many of those do you have, and how many do you use on a daily basis? For most of us, we spend probably a couple hours a day at least flipping through that. It's one of those things that you sit down, you've got a free minute, you're waiting on something or somebody, and you just mindlessly hit it. The app opens up, and you can waste hours just scrolling through things that probably aren't even that important to you. Notes from people you probably don't even remember half of who they are. Those social media apps eat up hours of your time, and they clutter up your schedule and clutter up your phone with things you don't really need. So I recommend just getting rid of the apps altogether. If you do want to get on social media, set aside some time. If you have to log in, you're going to be more conscientious about the fact that you're doing it, and it won't be something you just mindlessly do to waste a lot of time. Um, the other thing want to talk about is to declutter is something that I had a problem with years ago, and that was journals. I always was well intentioned about, I want to read these journals at some point, but they kept coming faster and faster than I could ever catch up with the reading. So they began to pile up, and as the stacks got higher and higher, I realized, there was no way that I was ever going to go back and read all those old journals with the ones that I still had coming in. The real motivator, however, happened when I decided to move. I knew I didn't want to be breaking my back, filling up boxes of journals and moving them with me. So I did something I recommend to a lot of clients, and that's go through them, table of contents. If there's an article that looks interesting, just tear it out, throw away the rest of the journal, dump them all in the recycle bin after the fact. You can either save, or I prefer scanning the specific articles you want to read later. The fact is, though, even now that was a number of years ago. Now you don't even have to scan articles. If you've got a subscription, you've probably got access to an archive of years, if not decades, of articles from previous journals. Some in places where, like, if you work for a hospital or a large organization, they may have subscriptions to things that accounts that will give you access to dozens, if not hundreds, of journals. So really, there's no reason to collect them unless you just like them collecting dust or stacked up. I reminds me, I had a partner when I first started, 20 years in practice, and he had every single journal from his first year in practice that it came out every month, and he had the whole collection. It looked quite impressive, but I can't imagine ever finding it useful, because even if you knew that there was an article on a topic you wanted to read, there was no way to index it. So he ended up having to do just like the rest of us and go to PubMed or go online and search the article directly. So again, there's really no use for having those things cluttering up your space. And I do recommend starting those three things. If you just do that, I'm sure you'll find a lot of space and a lot of free time getting rid of those activities. There's also a few other tips on a cheat sheet I've made for you. Go to christopherburtonmd.com/clutter. That's christopherburtonmd.com/clutter, and get your free download. And I hope you get rid of some of the things in your life that are taking up time and space but aren't serving you well at all. Till next time, have a great day.